haven't committed yet. It's so bad. Of everything I've ever gone through, this one I'm like,
Hey everyone, this is Becky,
and I'm Angie.
and welcome to Real Talk with Beckie and Angie.
I have a great procrastination story.
Let's hear it.
Guess who gets to go and have a colonoscopy and a mammogram and all those fun things I found out today that I just put it off way too long. Actually, this is so bad. Friday, we're getting ready to go on vacation, or I say vacation. Any more 2 or 3 days away from home is a vacation for me. But anyway, we were leaving and we got something in the mail. And Jake brings it in. He's like, and it's one of those, I've only seen it, I had previously only seen it advertised on TV. The colon, what is it? It's the kit that comes at home and you're supposed to do this test at home. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
I mean, I gag just thinking of it. I just can't. I had to do something similar back in when the poisoning first happened. I had all these tests done. I couldn't do it. I mean, I did it, but anyway, this thing shows up on Friday. I'm like, no notice, like know who it's from. And I told,
oh, no notice.
No notice,
Wow.
know who it's from. I'm like, this is really a serious prank. I mean, whoever pulled this one off, it's a good one. Yeah. And then I got a call from my doctor's office today and she's like, well, you have a choice. You can either have a colonoscopy because it's been way too long, or you can do the kit that Dr. X sent. And I was like, let me think about it. I haven't committed yet. I just don't know that I can do it. She's like, if you don't have a history of colon cancer or anything, you can do the kit. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'd rather flush my whole system and drink that stuff than do that. I don't know. That is what you get when you procrastinate. Just something random shows up and says, guess what? You get to poop in something and then test it. So there's our poop talk for the day.
There you go. No. Yeah. Wow. So you've had colonoscopies?
Yes. Have you not?
No, I haven't. I have Kaiser, and unless you have a history, you just do those little lovely samples once a year. And so I've done a few of those.
You've done that thing?
It's been fine. Yes. Yeah.
How bad is
for
it?
me, it's the mental thing is worse than actually doing it. Actually doing it is, we're really going there today. Actually doing it is, it's not that big of a deal. The kit is so clean and,
you just don't know right now. I'm literally
doable.
It's so bad. Of everything I've ever gone through, this one I'm like, okay, so it's clean, it's easy, it's not. I don't know, I can't do it. Okay, you found my weak spot.
It's the first time I did it. I think the kit sat there for 4 months. Talk about procrastination. Oh. And then I finally did it. I'm like, this isn't so bad. It's really. So you've never done the kit, the home kit?
No. Well, I did something like I said, probably 5 years ago or 6 years ago. And I just remember being in the bathroom retching because I was like, I'm never do anything like this again. No way. And so I felt like, whoever sent that had a really sick sense of humor. Apparently Dr. X does. But you've never done it. See, there's something about a colonoscopy though. I mean, there's that prep, which is not pleasant. And then you're kind of out of it for a little bit. So I get it. But anyway, so there's but you've never, okay, you must have colonoscopy. You've got to do it.
I think the way Kaiser, because it's really fun. It's so much more fun than doing the kit at home.
It's a good cleanse.
Wow, you're really selling
it.
You're really selling it.
It's a good cleanse.
Okay.
Why pay to go to a spa when you can do a colonoscopy prep? All right. So procrastination. Do you procrastinate?
No, I never procrastinate. Ever.
Never, ever. Never have I ever.
Never have I ever. I procrastinate, and I find sometimes when I procrastinate that it pays off.
Right?
Thank you.
Okay, it's not just
yes.
Oh, okay. Agreed. 100% agreed on that one. I'm okay. Take it away because you just kind of, besides my poop story, you kind of stole my opening line there.
I don't know where to go from there. when I procrastinate and it pays off, it's typically I put off something and put off, and then all of a sudden, like I have a better idea, or something else pans out, or something, or it's like, oh, I didn't need to do that anyway because it wasn't necessary or whatever. Yeah. And so when procrastination pays off, I love
so
it.
So does. Well, and I feel like there are times that, okay, is this a thing or am I just making strategic procrastination? Like sometimes you have for me, or I have that like, something's telling me to hold off on this. Something is saying, hold off, because it's not for lack of things to do, by the way. I don't just sit around and like sit on the couch and eat bonbons and just be like, I don't have anything to do today. There's usually a list. And so I prioritize. I tell myself. And then something I'm like, I just really don't want to do that. I'm not feeling that today. It's not, I can wait, it can wait, and it can wait. And then something will change and I'm like, yep, see, I knew it could wait. Is that always the case? No. Many nights staying up late or early in the next morning, whichever, to get the projects done. And, that's true too. So, but yeah, strategic procrastination. Can we like use that?
Strategic procrastination. I say we coined that phrase.
I think we do. I think it's a thing, right?
Well, yeah. What's the definition? What's the definition?
Strategic procrastination it's assessing the thing you have to do and deciding whether you have to do it. I don't know. I don't know. What is it? Well, how would you define it?
Strategic procrastination. I define it as, are you going to look it up?
I'm going to see
if it exists. Strategic procrastination to me means being selective on what you put off. And so it's strategic. That means it's actually like a grand plan. So you're putting it off until just the right time. That's it.
Oh, you're actually almost
what are you finding?
On. Strategic procrastination is when you start something and not finish it until it's almost due. But the key is to think on it gradually. It requires a great deal of planning. Wait, reread that, Angie.
Great procrastination requires great planning. Create checklists. Okay, seriously. This is way more. So then there's just like busy work? Yes, why would you even do that? Start your creative task and then stop and do something unrelated. Break up the task into smaller pieces spaced out over time and do the hardest task first. Create time to work uninterrupted, and then indecision and waiting time. Okay, that's just too much. I would have procrastinated the whole steps 1 through 4, even the very beginning.
Just go right to the end.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it wasn't new and novel.
So a couple of things in there. The one that's really interesting is start a project and get distracted by something else. That can pay off for me sometimes because I could start a project, get stuck in the project, like I don't know what to do next. And then I go and busy myself with something else that I've possibly been procrastinating on. And I go to work on that. And then my brain becomes open. And then I know how to unblock what it is that I was working on. That's what I would think of. That's not strategic procrastination. That's more accidental procrastination.
Unless you say, I'm going to walk away now because when I walk away, I know that my creative juices are going to flow and I'm going to solve this problem. And that's strategic. That's thoughtful. That's planned.
Planned procrastination. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that validation.
You're welcome. I think that's true for most things on procrastination. I mean, that's how I do, or that's how I justify it. That's how I'll be like, I'm not really feeling this right now. I think I need to go fold clothes. That will get my creative juices flowing. Procrastination. Have you ever had it though, where you drop the ball because you procrastinated too long?
I'm sure there is a time or more than one time. Nothing is coming to mind right now. Where like I missed out because I procrastinated too long. Nothing's coming to mind. But one of the things that you said in that description is planning things out and then doing it all at the end. Like and I know that's not a good method or a good strategy.
Why?
Well, the experts,
who
the
says?
experts say, the experts say that that's not a good strategy, but that is my strategy. I'm like, okay, I've got 15 minutes to do this. It's going to take me 15 minutes to do it. Then that's what I'll do. If I have 15 days and it takes me 15 minutes, I'll do it in the last 15 minutes, or I'll get it started right away and then the last 15 minutes.
But if you had 15 days and it was only going to take you 15 minutes, that, I don't know, how many hours is that? Anyway, that 14 days and 23, whatever it is, that
45 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. You were thinking on executing perfectly. And so that 15 minutes probably was less than 15 minutes and you did it flawlessly. You're welcome again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are working well together. Thank you.
I do the same thing. I know that something like because it's I think it's prioritizing for me because like I said, the list is never, I always have a list. So it's where it goes on the list. Time is flying by.
Yeah.
It's spring. Do you know that?
Is it spring there? Well, the calendar says it's spring.
Yes, it's spring. It's there too. California and Texas. So are you still getting like torrential downpours there?
Not torrential, pretty good sized downpours though. Right now it's raining and it's going to rain more this week and it's going to rain more next week. So yeah, it's great.
Where's all the water going?
Into the ocean. I mean, it is going into the aquifers.
Yeah.
Aquifer. And they're going into the reservoirs and the lakes, and it's going into the ocean.
That is so bizarre for California. I mean, obviously there's always a certain amount that goes into the ocean, but to be in that situation that you have an excess of water.
Oh, and California has had the most snow of any state in the United States. One of the ski resorts, they just announced they have 700 inches of snow. That's like a 50-year record. I think it's even more than that. I mean, it is like, that's amazing. That is amazing. There's actually too much snow. It's hard to ski.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. Again, troll alert. Troll alert. That damn global warming thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
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 What else is going on with you?
What do I have going on? I had my people come to my my in-person coaching last night, and we actually did a worksheet on procrastination. And we go around the table and share wins. One lady, her win was on Saturday, I started and completed 6 loads of laundry. I folded them, they're all put away, and it's totally done. I'm like, that's a huge win.
Because that is a huge accomplishment.
It is.
It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it is.
So I've been procrastinating, recording meditations. I am a contributor for Aura Health app. And with my new microphone, I did some recordings last week and they worked. So I don't know why my mic didn't work today, beside the point. And so,
it's not bothering you or anything.
It's not. And, so anyway, I got to have that in there. You know what we haven't talked about for a while?
Your butt.
Is my butt.
When we talked about poop, I was like, we haven't talked about her butt. Did it play out? Did it play out though?
I know. I thought about it when you were talking about poop. I was like, how can I incorporate my butt in here? But that just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right.
Well, there we go. We just got it in there. It didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Still doesn't.
Yeah, it's funny because a couple of people have said, in your butt every episode. I'm like, I know, right? Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That is good.
Yeah. So anyways, that was that. I like attaching, if I'm procrastinating, what can I attach to it to make it fun? Because I'm all about the fun. I'm a promoter, I don't know if you know that I'm a promoter, and
I've heard,
and who's an introvert, by the way. And so we did it on procrastination. It was actually really fun. And what was so interesting is how watching them do this exercise and taking it so seriously. And they're like, yeah, because I think I'm going to just include myself here. I beat myself up when I procrastinate. Like there's something wrong with me. I'm lazy. I'm, the stories that I tell myself when I procrastinate, and, oftentimes when I procrastinate, it's not the number one reason typically is because I don't know how to do it. that the number two reason that can also be number one reason is I don't want to do it. And so those are the main reasons I procrastinate. And then the third reason is as an over, as a recovering perfectionist, if I can't do it perfectly, then I'm not going to do it. And if I don't know how to start it perfectly, then I won't start it. And so perfectionism and procrastination, I call them the ugly twin sisters.
So I kind of got lost. Number 1 and 2 were
the same. Well, they're kind of like one and two are actually like interchangeable.
Okay.
Sometimes one's one, sometimes one's two. So one is I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it. And so I just put it off. Number two or number one, depending on the day, is I don't know how to do it. So I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know how to do it.
Okay. I could see that. I could see those. And then number 3 was, the perfectionist. Okay. Now how about dishes? Who does the dishes in your world?
Mostly, well, now that my son's off at college, mostly me. Although Jens and I have been getting Hello Fresh. We get three meals a week. And so it kind of, we didn't even make an agreement. I'll cook it and he'll do the cleanup. But for the most part, I'm the dishes person in my house.
I was talking to a friend one time. She said that her linen closet looked like Pottery Barn. Like in her bathroom linen closet was just perfect. You open it up and it was perfect. And this was like right when Pinterest was starting. So it wasn't like Pinterest goals or anything like that. And when she said that, I was like, yeah, so is mine. Is that a badge of honor? I mean, let's think about this. Where the hand towel is folded a certain way. And, I always had seasonal towels in the kitchen and I always did all these things. And then over the years, it's just kind of like, does it really matter? Who really sees? What does it make me feel better? Not in the immediate. Does it make me feel like overall, does it affect my mental health and well-being? Probably not. But there are times when I open up the cabinet in the linen closet, I'm like, it really needs to be organized. But it's probably not as crazy as some people's. That's how I'm like, it's probably not as bad. The reason I bring that up is that there used to be a time when I could not go to bed if the dishes weren't completely done, the counters wiped off, the stove, take the burners off and clean the whole thing. Now there's times where we'll get up from dinner and Jake will we'll start do dishes. And I'm like, nah, we'll do them in the morning. And I never would have done that before.
Wow. What do you think shifted?
It's just the priorities of it. I don't need I just don't want to do it right now. I mean, I'm giving myself permission to not be the perfectionist. I just giving myself permission. It was a big thing. It's a big thing. And to be honest, I mean, I think that when Jake moved in, his family was like a little like, uh-oh, because even then I was still very much, and it was just me. So everything was very much in its place. Mm-hmm. That doesn't tend to be his personality type. So I've learned to just, and I want to say that saying of pick your battles, but it's not a battle for me. He has his stack of things. He has his things. And then I have laundry for days stacked up. So I have my things. He has his things. And it just is not to complicate things and just, I'd rather go to the park. I'd rather go do something than do dishes and giving myself permission. Who cares? I mean, who really cares?
I'm shocked. So
I'm sure you are.
This is my shocked face. Seriously, I'm hearing you and I'm thinking, wow, that's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. I've seen, you take pictures and there's a beautiful background. It's all perfect. It's pristine. And if people only look at what the subject is in the picture and not the whole picture, I'd be curious. I look at the whole thing. What's going on in the background there? Oh, do they have dishes? I look at that. I do. That's something that I really, really notice because I notice all the details there. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing pictures and I'm like, God, Angie's kitchen's so clean. You're in it. And even just the background of the living room, everything has its place. And then I look around my house and I'm like, oh God. I mean, this area that you can see right here is clean. If you could see the rest of it, you'd be, because it's my husband's desk over there. It's just like a bomb went off. And so to hear this, relax. That's what comes up for me as you've relaxed into it. Hey, it doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect. Do I love it? Not all the time. I do notice sometimes I'm like, yeah, I could do this or I could do that. And then I close the door and be like, I'll go find something else to do. Before I couldn't have done it. And it doesn't make sense to me. And when I look at it, I'm like, who is looking in my linen closet? Nobody. If you're looking in my linen closet, oh my gosh. It did happen though. Twice to me. Twice.
Somebody looked in your linen closet?
Yes.